другой стороны, у меня здесь был Эндрю, который мне дает харизму до 3-го уровня. То есть, если я сейчас надену накидку, у меня 4-й уровень типа будет, или как? Или у него здесь максимум 70%, надо перезагружаться будет. Ну, я сохранюсь на всякий случай.
Scott, thanks for coming. Of course, the jacket.
Do?
Scott.
Yes, and you like a more than a son, without all the messiness of diapers and all. It is a rather laborious story, some of which you know, some of which it was 17 years ago, with our corporation's unparalleled my son. My flesh and blood son. I loved that child, cherished him like nothing else, but my work stole time from him, more and more, and as the best geneticist in abundance, I ensconced myself in research of its genome, discovering its mutation, and I heard whispers of tests the settlers had made, because they... So, my friend, Mark, delivered me to a distant city, remote, nearly unlivable. I stayed there, poring through their documents until one day, I uncovered their work on a therapy which had only a singular side effect.
It modified the human body's electrical production.
Precisely. Technomancers are the result of a controlled genetic manipulation. Mutations instigated to protect us from more erratic mutations created by the radiation. A discovery I found But first, I needed test subjects. So I volunteered to heal children in the slums. Found 2 young boys there.
Andrew and me.
Yes, yes. Your abilities were gained thanks to my experiments, but that was not all that was gained. I had proof that I could replicate the therapy, and that, you know. From there, well, I secured a research budget from the military, who in turn assured me they would return my son. But for him, it was too late. The experiment failed to help him, and I found my stand to the military because I could not yet reveal what I knew, as I knew not yet what you were to become. Saw only my failure. I lost everything. And when Andrew's death came, you, Zachariah, became my only chance for success. My only chance until you finally became a Technomancer. My success. A chance for me to win back my approval. Glory within abundance. By seeing Alan, I had hoped to fix that. That they might take you back, and in turn, I might... Madness. Madness had overtaken me. Greed. Instead of... Forgive me.
Leave me alone.
Фух, слава яйцам.
Ah, the human everyone talks about. May I? Can we speak, please?
Hi. You wanted to talk?
I did, yes, I did. I've heard many people say, even though you are human, you're a good person. Many say that without you, they would still be in the pen. I thought maybe you too could help me.
Depends. What do you need help with?
Yes, well, we need weapons. To have any hope of helping our brothers held captive, we must be armed. I was given orders to arm a squad, but I have nothing to arm them with. And in Noctis, such things are far too expensive for us. But since I was told you travel, if on one of your trips you could find and bring us back a box or two.
I can try. Sure I could get my hands on some in Ophir somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it would be a great help for us. You're back, so...
As promised, should be enough to get you going.
Thank you. Thank you very... I know I've already asked you for a lot, but they are not used to fighting. Is there any way you could give them a lesson? Just a friendly fight. It'll help.
Sure, why not?
We're lucky that scum in Phobos managed to stop Cain. That crazy zealot would have led us to the grave.
I only wish that Phobos had not sought the help of you. Well, when you put it that way.
Glorious day. Phobos, chosen to be the great orator. He will surely usher us out of the era.
found the well and pump. It's beat to hell though. Gonna take a lot of materials to get it going again. Definitely can't replace it. Or maybe... there are similar types of equipment in the generators used by the cities. Gotta be one in Ophir and Noctis, even if the folks there aren't gonna be happy about ruining their machines.
Сначала мы пойдем в Офир. Да.
Can I come in?
Come here.
О боже, да. Вот это декали. Какие текстуры. Какие полигоны. О, вот это страсть. Я такого еще не видел.
I may not be the perfect girl, Zach, but I think we make a kick-ass team. And I want to stay together. I can't believe I'm saying this, but... I think I love you.
We're together for the long haul, so you're stuck with me, kid. Amelia, I love you.
Нет. Нет, еще раз нет. Я украду это в Офире.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I need allies to fight Victor and the ASC.
Then you came to the right place. The bastard came to our doorstep and threatened us. Sent thugs to capture one of our own who came in peace, seeking refuge. There's not a day that goes by that he doesn't grab and gain more power. The time's come to bring Victor down. You not only have me on your side, Mancer, but all of Noctis.
Именно здесь я украду генератор. Или там что, для насоса мутантов. Я вот не знаю, вот эта вот мутация, сделанная их техномантами, если вот так вот посмотреть на Захараю и Эндрю, не делает ли она их больше геями? Это вот страшно. И то, что Захарая не отвечал на там взаимности Алана, тот рассердился, типа вот то, что он не хотел с ним сближаться. Как-то это все подозрительно, вот эта вот линия гейства. Фу-фу-фу-фу.
There he is! Get him!
Боже мой, репутация изобилия -1. Досрал я на них.
Captain, good to see you. I know this will sound crazy, but I need your help. The armies. I think I've come up with a way to turn the assembly against Victor, but for it to work, I'm gonna need allies.
That's not crazy, Zach. He's out of control. Something needs to be done. The army always remembers a good soldier's loyalty. Sure as hell can't help you officially, but we'll do anything we can for you under the table.
And if you team up with them, doors are gonna close real quick in your face. The army's afraid of them. So I doubt your captain's gonna want to help you anymore if you're working with them. I don't know what the right choice is, though. It's not just about overthrowing Victor, but also doing the best thing for Abundance's future, too.
Hello there, Zachariah. What do I owe the pleasure?
Well, now that you're asking, with Victor and the ASC after me, my only options are to keep running or retaliate. To retaliate, though, I need some allies.
I know you're right. Know it's a worthy war you'll wage. Know I owe you. But I can't risk joining with you, Zachariah. Don't know you well enough to trust you with my life. Or the lives of my men. I am sorry. And, despite all that, I wish you the best. Wish you success. For our sake, and yours.
No hard feelings. Had to ask. Goodbye.
Не, ну так-то я бы все равно за армию предпочитаю. Там уже все налажено. Капитан норм баба. А эти повстанцы хрен знает, что они из себя представляют. И не главное это Виктор был, а не армия. С армией было все ништяк, я так думаю. Ну и здесь же сейчас, наверное, будет выбор между Ноксином и тем Болданом, либо с ворами.
Zach, look. I know Anton and the Void could bring a lot of support, but they're bad people, Zach. They exploit the poor, force corruption, and always try to get their greedy little fingers into every part of the planet. Plus, you know damn well Dandolo won't take an alliance with anyone who works with them. And honestly, imagine if we win. How much power would Anton Rogue walk away with?
A pleasure as always, Zach.
If I'm gonna destabilize Colonel Victor, I'm gonna need some allies.
Then you better keep looking, Mr. Mancer. Unfortunately, the allies you've already made aren't folks I consider or want.
I gotta go.
Then go.
кажется, уже скоро будет финал.
Now that we are at full strength, we must devise a way to compromise Victor's popularity at the Assembly.
I've got a lead. There's this grizzled old general who's been bitching about the lack of info he gets about Aurora. Right now, he's the only one with the balls to call Victor the Dictator incompetent. According to him, the Aurora Dowser's down shit creek and may have been booted off his post. If we can prove that General is right and isn't just some senile old man, maybe the Army's head honchos will be pissed enough at the Colonel to kick his buns in the sun.
But we would need hard evidence.
I'm almost positive that Dandolo can help us. Noctis sends merchants everywhere after all.
We also have some connections with Technomancers over there. They should be able to tell us what happened.
We could try Anton. Aurora's a little far, but there's no place that's safe from Anton's little birds. It's a start.
Even if abundance is run from the top down, members of the Assembly would pay attention to uprisings. Some of your local allies could help you stir up some anger in the masses. The ASC has made their lives miserable for months. People are arrested on a whisper, live huddled in fear. It would not take much to spark the powder keg.
It's a good idea, but we can't influence entire populations by ourselves. We'd need allies hidden among the people.
Back when I was an artist, I got into some altercations with Assembly members who thought my shows were blasphemy. Maybe it was because I didn't say Hail to the Shadow 50 times. I can't say for sure, but if we could get them to think that Victor isn't a devout believer, we could get the large religious sect of the Assembly to revoke their support and demand his banishment. Or we could just give them a little nudge in the right direction by making them believe Victor steals relics for his own use.
We'd have to stage an elaborate setup, but I like it. After all, Trickster must get what he gives. We'll need volunteers that can pretend to be ASC. The plan is right up Anton's alley. It's possible for Dandolo or the opposition to help us out too.
One last thing. I was told the High Judge endorses all of Victor's decisions, even though I know for a fact that he hates him, which is more than a bit strange. The judge is such an honest man.
Or if you're in the mood to make a scandal, I've got everything we need. Did you know that Victor employs young women to worm out information on men he keeps tabs on? And I'm not Victor, but I have a feeling he used that info to blackmail these same men. If we can prove it, the Assembly would have a major meltdown. Their beloved Colonel, a pimp? To find evidence of his trafficking, we could look for the orders he gave his goons. Have you seen his hands? Far too immaculate to be doing this dirty work himself. Back in my days as an officer, I ran into a band of girls, and I think this exploited girls topic may interest them. Maybe enough for them to help us.
Indeed. How's this? I've heard that a small faction of the Assembly blindly backs up Victor, no matter how crazy the project is. So I believe it almost certain that their chief of this faction was bribed. So unless we bribe him ourselves, we'll have to silence him.
It's not ideal, but I have no way of finding out what dirt the ASC has on that man. We'll have to go without his support, and hope we can get enough voters elsewhere.
All these ideas will indeed cut off Victor from his support network.
But?
This is going to sound self-interested, but if we could help the mutants escape from the pen, it would expedite the Colonel's downfall. The people and the Assembly would be outraged to know that after decades of civilized control, Victor was the one who couldn't keep them in check. I'd like to see the Colonel try to justify his mistake of so many slaves, particularly ones notorious for their feeble minds.
No, it's not selfish. It's a good plan. We're gonna help mutants in the pen prepare their escape. After a mass breakout like that, his reputation will never be the same. Thank you, all of you, for the ideas. Now let's make them happen.
Greetings, Zachariah.
Rumor is Aurora's Dowser was deposed. I need to know it's more than rumor, though. If it's true, we might be able to convince some members of the Assembly that Victor needs to go.
Even though I don't like the idea of continuing the conflict between Abundance and Aurora that has caused so much suffering, if it's what needs to be done to dethrone Victor. I have a few contacts among Aurora's Technomancers. They're not quite brothers, but they're at least like cousins. And I've heard their messengers nearly always follow one particular shadow path. Let me show you. This one here. If you go, you may be able to stop one of their couriers. If the news you're expecting is as important as you say, I'm sure it will be in the documents they are carrying.
Thanks, Melvin.
Zachariah, I've received a message from Dandolo. He has some information on the disappearance of patients.
Really? Did he learn where he was taken?
The ASC had him locked up in an old dome near Ophir. In his message, he says that it's a dome that Technomancers used to use. Does this sound familiar to you?
Hard to forget. Yes. That's where initiations would take place before a mantis destroyed everything. We'll have to go free him. The place must be teeming with soldiers fighting for Victor. But we can't leave the old Technomancer in their hands. Not a prayer I can fix this alone. Better get Amelia to give me a hand. Hi.
Zachariah,
I got your well taken care of. No more creature and it runs like new.
A man of your word. Take this. And if you have more time to help, a serious matter has come to my attention. Our observers in Ophir report that a mutant group there now faces execution. Punishment for refusing to complete their tasks.
Probably fixing the city's shutters. Aurora's attacks blew a hole in Ophir's roof, considering how important it is to get it fixed.
Humans hurt other humans and mutants face death. Yes. Well, they are being held apart from the rest. They must be saved, Zachariah.
I'll do what I can. Can't guarantee anything, though.
Your best is better than our nothing. My brothers in Ophir have suffered enough.